Happy Wednesday, everyone, and welcome to the Libra Lounge with Keisha. I've got my special guest, Miss Jessica Hagewood.
Hi, everybody.
She is running for the Santa Fe ISD School Board.
Yep. Position
So,
four.
Position four. So tonight I am going to try to sound really educated.
Me too.
Mature. Sophisticated. Okay, I'm lying. We'll be lucky if I get just a little bit of maturity. Before we go on, I wanted to make an announcement. If you are a local to the Harris County or the Galveston County area, early Sunday morning, a Little League coach by the name of Adrian Gonzalez was hit and killed in Webster, Texas. His family is currently trying to do everything that they can to find the person who did hit Adrian. So if you have any information about that, please get in contact with the Galveston County Crime Stoppers at 409-763-8477 or the League City Police Department at 281-332-2566. After the show, we are going to put that information up on the page, as well as the GoFundMe and the Vimo fundraisers that his family is holding right now. All right. So, Jessica, are you ready to hang with me for an hour?
I'm ready.
Okay. So, this Sunday, I turn 39. I was telling my husband, like, it feels weird because I feel like I'm trying to prevent wrinkles, but then I'm still having to deal with pimple outbreaks. I'm like, there's no fairness in that at all. I'm like, you got to choose a battle. And I'm going to say I'd rather deal with the pimples than the wrinkles.
Really?
Because the pimples, they'll go away. The wrinkles are forever.
But they look good sometimes.
The wrinkles on me? I don't know. I don't know.
I don't see one wrinkle, for one thing.
They're there. They're there. I have a filter on my face right now. It's my Snapchat filter
I need
that I have
on filter all the time.
I'm like, can my lashes look like they do with the Snapchat filter, like all the time? Because I need those. All right. So we do have one special announcement. I wanted to let everyone know that I have accepted a new position with Team Havoc, which is a semi-pro basketball team, but I'm going to be helping out their dance team, the Lady Havocs. So I think my husband, producer James, has created like the bomb ass commercial announcing that. I'm supposed to, oh shit. I promised Jessica I was not going to cuss. So, okay, I've got it out now. I think I'm good. If you are a voter, she did not cuss. It was me. And she may be a bad judge of character for coming on my show. I'm just kidding.
I don't think so.
All right. So roll it, producer James. Ooh, producer James was not ready.
Your very own Houston Havoc have teamed up with Keisha from the Libra Lounge to present to you the Lady Havoc Dance Team. This is the premier year for the Lady Havoc, and we're excited to offer you a great opportunity to sponsor the team. Call or email today to sign up to sponsor and show your support for the Lady Havoc Dance Team.
Alrighty, so if you are interested in being a sponsor for the Lady Havocs, you just saw all of the information, and producer James. Okay, you know what? I am messing up tonight. He is rolling his eyes at me. He keeps going. Because am I just messing everything up this evening?
Not everything. We haven't been to the whole show yet, so I can't say everything. You're on a good roll now.
I think I've messed up like 17 times, and we're like maybe a minute into the show. Is that accurate?
4 minutes in, 5 minutes in, so you're about one screw up a minute.
I'm just gonna try to stick to what I know, and you guys know what I know, and it is time for the gab.
We know she has a really big mouth, which sounds kind of dirty, and that's probably true too. Let's gossip. The Gab with Keisha.
So, huge shocker, Ariana Grande and that Pete Davidson, he's just weird looking. He looks like Draco Malfoy from Harry Potter and Pee Wee Herman had a love child, and that is Pete Davidson. He just looks odd to me. So they broke up. Are you surprised to hear that news?
No. Who stays together?
I mean, and then Ariana is so young. He's quite a bit older than she is. And they got engaged like 3-4 months after dating. I'm just like, to me, when you're Ariana Grande's age, when she's in her mid-20s, those are like, to me, your hoe years. You really need to get to like experience life, experience people. But she did give back her, I think it was $140,000 engagement ring.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have given it back?
Yes.
You would have?
Yeah, I would have.
Why?
So with breakups,
Mm.
normally that means we're finished
Right.
and I want you out of my life and I want to move on.
Right.
So if I still have this huge piece of you,
Mhm.
that may not happen. So yeah, I'm all about here. I want my stuff back. You can have your stuff back.
I don't want to see you. There's
We're
not going to
done.
be any
Yeah.
pictures.
We're
I'm
not
gonna
friends anymore. We're not going to
not
talk
on social
anymore.
media.
I've never been on social media unmarried, so
Okay,
I don't know how
got
that
you.
works,
Okay.
but probably not.
Okay.
But no.
Okay.
So
And I agree with you, but I just feel like I could pawn the ring.
she doesn't need to pawn the ring.
I know, but she could have like donated that to charity, like to me.
Mhm.
You know?
She could have. She could have.
Okay, so I think she did the right thing by giving him back the engagement ring. But that's so like, how do you give back the engagement ring? Isn't that like weird? Like, I don't want to be with you no more, Jessica. Here's your ring.
She could have
Had an
done a lot of
assistant do
things.
it?
Yeah, she could have had an assistant do
Right.
it. That's probably what she did.
Because I could see like my husband, us breaking up, and I give him back his ring, and he would throw it at me, like, you know.
Yeah,
what I
you could
mean?
throw it in a field and then they could go on a scavenger hunt with no
Yeah,
clues.
that's
That's a good one.
Isn't that what you did to
So-
your first? Because you remember when you used to be married to the other woman, James? Yeah. Remember when you used to be married to that other woman?
I remember that.
Didn't you throw your wedding ring like out the window?
No, I think you threw it at me first, and then I threw it out the window.
That sounds about right. But the point is,
There was
we
some
did.
throwing
We
involved,
threw
right?
it out the
Mhm.
window.
Yeah.
So hopefully, I think Ariana's going through a very hard time. Of course, her ex-boyfriend, Mac Miller, died of a drug overdose not even a month ago. And I think she's really, really struggling. And I don't personally believe that she was over Mac Miller, but I feel like she had to break up with him because of the drug use. So, Ariana, my heart goes out to you.
Take a break.
Take a break. Most definitely take a break. But at the end of the day, you're young, skinny, and rich. So the world is your oyster. So, so in big baby news, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry announced that they are having a baby.
Mhm.
Are you excited or surprised by this news?
No, I'm not surprised,
Mhm.
but I'm excited for them. Anytime
Yeah.
somebody gets to become parents, when you are a parent, you know
Right.
that it's a huge deal for them. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Megan did not waste any time getting pregnant. And that's smart because you're like, oh, I mean, even if we break up, you still gonna have to see me. You know,
I still have a royal baby. So.
Yes, and like no one can say I have a royal baby. You know, everyone's like,
Yeah.
oh, that's my prince, that's my princess. It's like, no, this is a real royal baby.
Mhm.
And I was talking to my mom earlier, and I was like, I wonder how the baby's gonna look. I mean, it could. You just never know how the genes are gonna play around.
Yep.
It could come out, you know, with like olive skin tone with a red fro. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm a very, very, very excited about this. I just really cannot wait to see how this baby looks.
Yeah, I know. That was my first thought too.
Yeah,
So,
that's
it's
a
gonna
lot
be
going on
interesting.
between her being mixed race and him being both of
Redheaded.
them redheaded, both of
Mhm.
them having freckles. I don't know, but I
Mhm.
don't feel like we just got over all the hoopla of the wedding.
I know. They're
And
keeping
now-
it going. aren't
Yeah,
they?
yeah, they are. So we'll see if Meghan Markle's father, who just loves to talk to all of the gossip columns, if he has anything to say about this, he better stop because I have a feeling they will not let him be a big part of this baby's life if he keeps on. So congratulations to them. So Jessica, how old are you?
I am 35. So
Jeez.
it's all the same. Like
It's
once you
not.
get,
I
I don't know.
You're closer to 30 and I'm closer to 40.
We both
makes-
round. We both round to 40.
Oh,
So,
Lord, I'm just
you know.
okay. Well, 35-year-old Jessica, do you watch Teen Mom?
I don't. I actually haven't watched anything lately. I'm the
Oh, yeah,
most
you're
boring
super
person.
busy.
I'm the most boring person when it comes to that stuff.
Well, I'm super petty, nosy, and I like drama, so I watch reality TV, and it doesn't matter how big the train wreck is with Teen Mom, I have to watch the show. And all my friends make fun of me. They're like, are you kidding me? You're really watching that? Like, yeah. So since you're kind of sort of into politics,
Mhm.
so they just added on Teen Mom OG. I mean, so is it sort of kind of politics or is it totally politics?
That she was added on?
No, you.
Oh, I would say it's sort of kind of.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's sort of kind of.
So I just thought it was befitting that I would bring up Teen Mom because I always like to talk about Teen Mom, but I tried to like bridge it together. So I was like, oh,
I know,
can talk
that's
about
perfect.
Bristol.
It's
yes,
perfect.
Who's the daughter of Sarah Palin. But Bristol Palin is just awful. All she does is cry. I mean, every single scene, she's crying. I don't. Do you think that is sending a good message to the young ladies who watch the show? That if maybe it is a good message, if you become a teen mom, have multiple kids before getting married, and then get married, this is what you become. Bristol Palin.
I think it's an accurate message for the most part, not every part.
Yeah,
So-
she just seems so unhappy. And then I think back, I'm like, when did she get to have any fun? I mean, she's been a mom since how old was Bristol? Bristol was 16 when Sarah Palin was running for president, I believe.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
15, 16.
Yeah, so she's just been okay. I get it, Bristol. I get why. I get the tears. I understand, but I'm gonna need you to keep being dramatic, but in a different way to keep me engaged on Teen Mom OG. Which there was a lot of controversy about her becoming a cast member because all the other girls were part of 16 and Pregnant, which she wasn't. But everyone knows her story of being a teen mom.
Yeah.
So
I guess they couldn't get Jamie Lynn Spears. So that would have been another OG right there.
would have been good and a lot better than Bristol. I think Jamie Lynn would have brought a totally different spin to it. Being the sister of Britney Jean Spears. Yeah, that is a good. I think I'm gonna send an email. Let me write that
Totally
down and let the producers of MTV know that was my idea.
Yeah, what's your idea?
Maybe they should.
It's on record.
Yes, they should bring Jamie Spears onto the cast. When we get back, we are going to talk with Miss Jessica Hagewood all about the moves that she's making here in Galveston County and particularly in Santa Fe. So I always do this and my husband gets on to me. So now I'm doing
Giving
this.
you the evil eye.
I just cannot help it at all. But after this break, we will talk more with Jessica. We'll be right back. Femme Fatale is the fully equipped boutique-style gym and fitness club that is taking a new and innovative approach to women's health and fitness. Our main goal is to provide a comfortable and completely judgment-free venue for women of all ages and fitness levels to come exercise and feel like a positive, fit family. We understand the busy lifestyle of today's women, so we also provide 30 minutes to 1 hour fitness classes, including the newest trends like boot camps, yoga, and body bar. We also offer a break room for school-aged children to hang out, as well as a tanning bed and sauna. We are located at 689 FM 517 West in Dickinson, Texas, and our phone number is 281-678-8037. Mention the Libra Lounge and get $10 off your initiation fee. We look forward to growing our fit family with you. Welcome back to the Libra Lounge with Keisha. I have in the studio with me this evening Miss Jessica Hagewood. Tell the Libra Lounge audience hello.
Hi, everybody.
Okay, so you have lived in Santa Fe, which most people have never heard of Santa Fe unless you're from our area.
Mhm.
You've been there for 11 years. How on earth, of all the places around here, did you end up in Santa Fe?
Well, I knew that we were going to be living kind of in the Houston area, and I am a country girl. I have horses
Oh, okay.
and a donkey,
Mhm.
and I've actually never lived in
the
a
city?
neighborhood
Mhm.
or even in like the city limits anywhere. And so I wanted to make sure that we found a place that was country,
Right.
and that had good schools. And
Mhm.
at the time, Santa Fe, their elementary school was exemplary, and we were welcomed with all of our animals, and
Right.
kind of, we fit right in. So
tell us about your family, your husband, your kids, help us to get to know you guys a little bit better.
all right, my husband's Clint, and
Hey, Clint, who doesn't have Facebook.
doesn't have
so
Facebook.
Maybe someone who he's by has Facebook and they're watching. Tell Clint we said hey.
People on Facebook know Clint though, because he's kind of bigger than this world. I mean, he's
Gotcha.
loud and fun.
Mhm.
So he's been a coach, like a little league coach forever. So since we've lived in Santa Fe, so we're your typical family of 3 kids,
Mhm.
9, 10, and 15. And
So you got Irish twins with the last 2.
yeah, that was fun. Let me tell you, when you work full time, both of you work full time, and you don't have close family or anything like that. That is
Lots of diapers too.
That's a lot of diapers and logistics, and but it made us stronger. We had to. I remember Christmas shopping with our kids because we had to. We didn't have any other options, so we had to be like Christmas shopping ninjas. So, but you do everything. You get so close when you have each other to kind of lean on, and so, and we've made some really good friends over the years. So yeah.
Tell us, with you living in Santa Fe for 11 years, what was your personal experience with some of the families the day of the shooting?
So our personal experience with the day of the shooting is we were actually both off of work. It was our youngest's field day. And I don't know how field day is for everybody else, but for us, it's a big deal. I remember it from when I was little. And so I always take off on field day. And so it was an unusual day to start off with. And my husband dropped off he was in 9th grade, and around 7:00 in the morning. And
So your son was at the high school?
Okay. Yeah, he was at the high school, and just a normal day. And I get a call from the person that comes and gets our kids and takes them to school normally that, hey, something's going on at the high school. I'm gonna go be up there. And so of course I get right on Facebook, and there was actually some confusion because there was a fire alarm pulled. So we'd heard like there were shots fired or there was a fire. So we didn't really know anything, and I didn't really think much about it. We had a false alarm in February. I don't know if you've been following it. And so I kind of thought, okay, well,
end of the school year,
kids
doing crazy stuff.
And so and people just say stuff and you get fired up about it. And so I was just worried, like, hey, I gotta get my kids to school now, so everybody get ready, it's field day. So I took the kids to school, and I'm keeping up with it and noticing that it's a little bit more serious than I thought it was, and that there was definitely the major rumor of an officer being shot. And again, I thought, this is crazy. So I call my husband, and he's like, yeah, all the kids are across the street from the high school, Highway 6. So I thought, okay, like he's talked to everyone and it's fine. And there was an officer shot, but everything, that's as bad as it is, hopefully. And so, so I get my kids off to school and come back. And as I'm driving back, I called my husband again. I said, did you actually like make contact? And he was like, no. And I said, what? I mean, and so and so then I call, no answer. And
I can't imagine the level of freaking out.
So at the time, we still didn't realize, how
It was what
how
it
the
was.
situation was. I mean, it was
Mhm.
scary, really scary,
Right.
and I said, why aren't you up there? We live close to the high school. Why aren't you up there looking for him? And he was like,
Yeah.
what do you want me to do, Jessica? I mean,
Yeah.
I was like, walk around the high school in a
Yeah.
circle. And so then about that time, he called back and he goes, oh, he called. He actually had to borrow a phone. So he was testing
Mhm.
and didn't have his phone. And when the fire alarm
They
went,
just ran.
they had a sub. They didn't know
Mm-hmm.
anything. So they just went out like you would in a regular fire alarm situation.
Right.
And, of course, they all left their bags and stuff. So, but you never think my kid's not going to have their phone.
'Cause they
They
always
always
have
have their
them.
phone. It's always
Right.
right there.
Yeah.
So, so then, they finally canceled field day. So
Mhm.
there was a time there, I would say like 9:30, they canceled field day.
Mhm.
And so I said, well, I'll go get the kids because I didn't even send them to school with lunch.
Right.
I never,
Oh,
I was going
yeah.
to be up there,
Mhm.
and so I'll go get them. And I remember when I was walking in to get my daughter is when I saw kind of on the breaking news, they had released that, 8 people were confirmed dead, and the blood just drained out of my face.
Right.
Never in a million years did I think that we were going to hear that.
Right.
And just like I said, it was shock and disbelief. And then you want to have your kids and get home, and we were just stuck to the news, stuck to social media.
To
So
get
just
information.
to try to get any information.
Mhm.
So and because you're thinking, okay, there's going to start being some leaks here. We're going to start seeing who these people are,
Right.
because you don't know, who
Right.
it is at all day long. So it was for sure a day that, we'll
You'll
never,
never
ever
know.
forget. Never forget.
So since your son was there, how has he been able to adjust? Did he return back to school this school year or?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay.
So he, like I said, he was on the opposite side of the school. He didn't
Mhm.
really hear anything. Even the departure of the school. I mean, he never was really around anything.
Did they even
that-
know at that time, whenever he was going across the street, that they know there's actually a student here with a gun shooting people, or did they just think something weird's going on?
They knew. There were teachers that were running out saying, get away from the school, get away from the
Mhm.
school. So they definitely knew this was not a drill.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they still weren't experiencing it. Some of them, obviously, a lot
Yeah.
of them were. So I think he's been fine. It's definitely, there's never a normal. There's not a
Yeah.
normal anymore. So just adjusting to the way that school is going to be now has been the adjustment. So we were very lucky compared to
Right.
other people that are dealing with anxiety,
Mhm.
PTSD, and obviously
Of course,
like the
the
huge
death of a child.
losses.
Yeah. We were talking before the show because we live in sister cities,
Mhm.
and to me, it's still surreal that this happened right in Santa Fe.
Mhm.
We play each other in football. There's been a rivalry. We would go to bonfires and pasture parties together when I was in high school. So it's just like, you think of school shootings and it's always something that you just see on TV.
Mhm.
And this was, that day, one of my friends, came to my house and her kids were there as well. And it's just like, is this really seriously going on?
Mhm.
So I know since the shooting, parents and citizens are extremely concerned, to the point that many parents are working just around the clock trying to figure out what can we do.
Mhm.
So I know that you're part of a safety committee that was formed after the shooting. Can you tell us a little bit about, what that is, what you guys are doing?
So the safety committee was formed in June after
Mhm.
the shooting. And it was mainly to have kind of a diverse group of parents and educators and mental health experts, law enforcement experts, to try to come together and say, this is what we feel we need to make our schools safer.
Mhm.
And then from that main committee, then we kind of divided into subcommittees. There's a
Right.
policy committee, a hardening committee, a mental health committee. So just someone to make recommendations from different points of view.
Right.
So
And I think you need that because,
it's a great process. I mean, every school
Yeah.
needs that process
yes,
for
they,
sure.
they do because, everyone thinks differently. So, if you have a parent who has concerns, they're going to look at things one way. And then if you have someone from law enforcement, they're going to look at it a different way. And it needs to be everyone, to be able to create something that is the safest for the kids.
Right. And even different ages. You may have a
Yeah.
parent that's in high school and I've got, or, a kid in high school and I've got one in elementary school, and you have
Right.
different concerns.
completely different.
So,
Right.
Is
When did you decide that you wanted to run for the school board?
well, actually, this is my third attempt to get on the school board. The first attempt was whenever it was in 2015, and somebody had actually vacated the seat. So the person that was elected, these are 4-year terms, they actually just left early. So, and in that case, the process is they kind of posted on the website, hey, somebody left, you can apply. And from the applications, the other 6 board members choose who the next board member will be. So I applied, and there were only 4 of us that applied, and 3 of us were not even contacted. They just went with one, right straight to one. And so that was my first experience, which was not pleasant. So I thought
that seems weird. It seems almost like they just put in who they wanted.
Yeah.
I'm an outsider looking in.
Yeah, and I think really the person that they put in had ran before, and he'd also applied before. So I think they saw, hey, he's really committed, and we need somebody that's committed. So I kind of give him the benefit of the doubt there. But I was definitely thinking, hey, I've got kids in this district, and at least call me and talk to me about what my ideas and vision would be for it. So then the next year when it rolled around in 2016, I actually ran I was on the ballot. And really what I wanted to bring in is I was noticing that we were performing just under state average. And I thought, man, this is a great town. I've been here for a long time, and I'm surprised. I'm surprised that we're under state average, because I know that we can do better. And so that was my message last time, was we can do better.
Right.
So, and we have to do better. And so unfortunately, I didn't win. So here I am again.
Third time's a charm?
Third time is a charm, hopefully.
Yes.
So, and since then, unfortunately, we've gone from just under state average to significantly under state average.
Really?
Yeah. So,
That's alarming.
It is alarming. It's very alarming. And I actually wasn't going to run this time. I felt like, as far as safety was concerned, after going through the safety committee process and looking at the other candidates, I thought, I feel like it's okay that we're doing well. And then that last week, when you can sign up to be on the ballot, our accountability ratings came out, and we were last in Galveston County. Our overall rating was a 63, a 59 at the high school. And I thought, this is just unacceptable. And
there's a lot going on, even beyond the safety of the school.
Oh yeah. And all of that was earned before the shooting. So, and we did have Harvey, but you guys had Harvey too, and Galveston had Harvey. So we were still the lowest out of all Harvey exempted districts. And once again, like I said, we can do better than that. That's a surprise to me. That's not a fair representation of who I feel like we are as a community. So I thought, this is it. I've got to come in here and try to help
things
get
up.
it better. So,
most people don't even know who their school board members are. I'm even guilty of that until after the shooting, when we had to start going to the school board meetings. And of course, you're like, oh, I know that person. But to me, I was like, this is not a good representation of the district, because some of the people that were on the board for us, they look like they haven't had kids since like 1931. And I'm like, what are your concerns? I'm thinking, like, how do there's a woman who has to be 120 years old up there, and then you have a mom, who has kids that are going through this. To me, that's more relatable,
Right.
than someone. Sometimes you know, school boards get a bad reputation because, I think it's the citizens' fault for not paying more attention to what it is that the school board does.
Yeah, I mean, I never really paid attention either, and but I do want to point out, and this is people don't necessarily think that I think this, but all of the people that are running for the school board or on the school board, I mean, it's not paid. So they are doing this, especially, and if they're campaigning, that's their money that they're going out paying, trying to serve their community. So you always want to keep that in mind. And I think that a lot of retired people are drawn to it as a way to give back. They have time now where they maybe didn't. I mean, just look, like I said, I work full time. My husband works full time, and so we're really busy. So I think that's kind of why it draws in, you know, some retirees. And I think that you want a kind of a good snapshot of what your community is, you know, because it's not just the school that's affected, it's our taxes.
Right.
So it's our property values. And I'm talking about what you can sell your house for, not what you get taxed for. But so you have a lot of people that have a stake in the game that don't necessarily have kids. Right. So, but you definitely want a variety. Variety. So, for example, like we have no moms that have kids in the district. So
on the school board, that just seems so. I don't know.
Yeah.
To me, it just seems odd to me.
Yeah, I think different perspectives again are great. I think Dickinson has like all women and one man.
I don't know. It looked like a retirement community up there. To me.
You should run next time.
Oh, I have been asked, and I'm like, no. So it's like, you should run for me. I'm like, I'm just a motor mouth and a busybody. I know nothing about politics. But when we get back from this break, I want you to tell us some of the changes that you're wanting to make. Okay. And some of the adversity that you've had to face since you announced that you would be running for school board. All right. So we will be right back.
Your very own Houston Havoc have teamed up with Keisha from the Libra Lounge to present to you the Lady Havoc Dance Team. This is the premier year for the Lady Havoc, and we're excited to offer you a great opportunity to sponsor the team. Call or email today to sign up to sponsor and show your support for the Lady Havoc Dance Team.
Hey guys, it's Keisha, the host of the Libra Lounge with Keisha podcast and web series. If you follow me on social media, you know that the Million Harris is one of the sponsors of the show. I've told you all about the great hair products for both men and women that they have, but I wanted to give you an opportunity to actually see some of their hair bundles. Here they are. What I did was I ordered both 20 and 22-inch Malaysian bundles and a frontal from the Million Harris and took them to my stylist and had her make this unit. Yes, this is actually a lace front unit made from the bundles I purchased at the Million Harris. I usually don't wear this much hair extensions, nor do I wear it this long, but I really love it. The hair feels amazing. It looks great. I've been getting compliments everywhere that I go. So make sure to go to her website or stop by the shop and get your order on. She's got hair products, bundles, and mink lashes. Make sure to use my discount code Libra20 for 20% off your total purchase. Alrighty, welcome back everyone to the Libra Lounge with Keisha. We have Jessica Hagewood here in the studio with us, and she is running for Santa Fe ISD School Board position 4.
Yes, ma'am.
I got it right.
You did.
So I know you talked about that. What is your regular profession?
I'm a CPA.
Okay.
So I'm actually in industry, on the industry side. So I would say like financial management is the best description of that.
Oh my gosh, how do you do that? Just with the numbers and
It's
the
great.
math?
I love it. So
Really?
I've always been a money person and really
That's
conservative
good.
with my money. So
My husband's gonna try to get you to talk to me
yeah, I
after the
probably should talk to
show.
you. Oh yeah.
He's doing a
So
Make It Rain in the
yeah,
background. I just get excited when I see something. I want, oh, I want that.
I know.
And then I see something, I was like, but I want that too. I want that too. And you know, James like, what did you buy at Target today? You
I always
know?
say I want to retire. That's what I want. I want
And that's
that.
what he tries to, and I'm like, what? And when he says budget, I'm like, what language is this that you're speaking? Budget? What is that? Okay, so I'm going to assume that, especially in the aftermath of the school shooting, that it's not probably very easy running for a school board position right now. What doors have been slammed in your face?
I wouldn't say a lot of doors have been slammed in my face. You know, Santa Fe is a very they're a polite
Mhm.
town. You know, even when I ran last time, everyone is very polite.
Mhm.
They're nice. But there's a lot of emotion with this one.
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot more emotion. So that's, I feel like, the negative side of things. And I try to be pretty active on social media
Mhm.
because I am 35 and I want to
Mhm.
bring that.
She's
and that's
rubbing it in
how-
my face.
I meant a mom of this age.
You said 35.
Sorry.
And you know I'm having difficulties because I'm about to be 39.
Well, you're way more social media savvy
That's
than I
39,
am. So
Keisha, in case you forgot.
That number after 38 and the one before 40.
it looks good on you. But
Thank you.
no, I want to make sure that there's actually interaction there.
Yeah.
But the drawback to social media is they create this person. I mean, there's people that I've never met that have an idea about who I am.
They think they know you.
They think they know me.
Yeah.
They know that I'm running against someone that they like.
Mhm.
And so I'm a bad person, and everything that I write is kind of read in a tone
Right.
maybe that they don't like.
Mhm.
And so that's why I'm trying to make sure that anytime that I can get in front of people, whether that be in person or, like I said, we had a forum or doing things like this or my own videos, that I do that and say, hey, we're all on the same team.
Yes.
And I respect your opinion, but I am doing this just to make Santa Fe better and reach its potential. So
Right.
that's the good thing about not growing up necessarily in the area is I didn't go to school with people that are now in the building that I don't like, or, you know, nobody did my family members wrong that
Yeah.
worked there. My experience has been really positive as far as my kids' experience. I mean, my daughter's gotten Student of the Year 3 or 4 times. And socially, it's totally fine there.
Yeah.
And so literally the only agenda that I have is just to make education and safety a priority.
Right. So that's my next question actually is, what do you think you bring to the table as a potential school board member?
So already, just professionally,
Mhm.
I emulate a lot of what the school board does, which
Right.
is work with other department heads, kind of work with a table of people to make decisions for an organization and make sure that I'm asking critical questions whenever. So financial questions, especially if somebody wants to buy something, you question that
Right.
because your organization depends on it.
Mhm.
And that's translates very well to the school board, but also performance. You know, if somebody says that we're going to sell $500 million and we do 400 million, you know, I have to say, let's talk about exactly where those shortfalls are, why they happened, and some corrective actions so that next year we can do better.
Right.
So it translates really well. But I think that the best thing that I bring is my own experience, you know, and a lot of people have heard this story, but I grew up in a district that was 66% economically disadvantaged, and I was one of them. And nobody ever treated us like we couldn't go out and be astronauts or doctors or whatever. I mean, our district made sure that excellent education was a priority. And I believe that that is the reason that I've been able to be successful.
Right.
So I want to make sure that our growing economically disadvantaged population gets that chance.
Yeah.
You know, because I can always leave if I have to. I don't want to do that, and we have people that are doing that to go find a better education. But I feel like it's kind of my pay it forward type of thing to say somebody fought for me, somebody fought for that
Right.
excellent education, and so I need to do that to make sure that those kids can go out and do whatever they
Right.
want. So
You're not just from my social worker background, you know, you teach kids that you're not a victim of your circumstance. You don't
Exactly.
have to be a victim of your circumstances, and you show them that there's a different life out here,
mhm.
and you can have these things. You can, you know, you see the same things over and over again, and you know they feel like, you know, poverty, it's generational
It is.
sometimes, and
Mhm.
it doesn't have to be.
It doesn't.
But we need people like you
Mhm.
who are, you know, saying no, we need to make these changes.
Yeah.
You know, this is a possibility for you.
Yeah. So one of the first parent teacher conferences that I had, when I realized, hey, this isn't kind of aligning with my expectations of
Mhm.
like what a pre-AP math class should be. The teacher was a teacher that was at CCISD the year before. And so she said, oh, you know, we're just a poor district, you know? And I said, that is not an excuse.
What does that have to do with her teachings?
So it wasn't necessarily that. I mean, like,
but that's just how she looked at it.
but, you know, I was questioning not necessarily her teaching, but just the curriculum,
Mhm.
you know, how hard the class wasn't, you know,
Yeah.
I mean,
To be a pre-AP.
yeah, to be
class.
pre-AP, you know, I was thinking, man, we're going to have some struggles at home, and,
Right.
you know, there's going to be some struggles with grades, and you really have to work for those good grades. And I wasn't going in to complain. And I always encourage people, set up a parent teacher conference and just go talk to those teachers. They're human beings. And
Right.
you learn so much, you
Yeah.
know, they're with your kid when you're not around, and that's a different kid.
Yeah.
But anyway, so she did say, you know, we're just poor. And at the time we were a little bit below 40% economically disadvantaged. And like I said, I was at one that was 2/3. And I said, you know, that is not an excuse.
Yeah.
That's
It's
not an excuse. And,
We can't let
So-
it be an excuse.
Yeah.
For sure.
for sure. So yeah, that's kind of, I think, where I bring even more to the table, because I know how important it is, because it was important in my life. My life
Yeah.
would be totally different if I had gone to a different district
Mhm.
and they hadn't had, and it's not like they just gave it to me,
Right.
you know, it was so much work. That's how I noticed there was a difference, you know.
But it was the encouragement, you know, that you were receiving.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was.
And
It was just
expectations.
expectations.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to be in this class, this
Yeah.
is going to be the level of work that you're doing, and I believe that you can do it.
Right.
And so, and there's a confidence that comes for whenever you finish a huge project or
Mhm.
make a really good grade
Sense
on
of
something that you didn't.
accomplishment.
You
Yeah.
think, well, you think I can do this,
Right.
You know, like, what else can I do?
Yeah.
So, you know, and I just want to make sure that the kids in our circle that they get that
Right. Every
Also-
single day when they're at school.
every day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, how would you describe Santa Fe school politics? Is it, you know, we do live in these small towns,
Mhm.
and I went to school with your grandma, or you're my fourth cousin. I mean, that's just how it is. Like,
It definitely
yeah,
is.
it's like I always tell people, like, you really can't talk about anyone in Dickinson because you're probably talking to someone's cousin.
Yeah,
you
well,
know?
you should move to Santa Fe. So, yeah, everybody knows everybody for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's hard for me to judge because I didn't grow up with any of these people,
Mhm.
but I'm sure that if I were in my hometown and so was running for the board and I thought, hey, I went to high school with him and, you know, he's a pretty good guy.
Mhm.
Now that I'm doing it, I would say I need to go talk to that person
Yeah.
and see that our views align. But, you know, I just think, like I said, in any town, you deal with it. In our town, it's just everyone is so close.
Yeah.
So, and
I can imagine that, especially after the shooting, you
Mhm.
really have had to come together even more so as a community.
Mhm.
So, how do you get your message across of the changes that you want to make during such an emotional time?
That's hard. That's been the hardest thing. And like I said, I feel like that's, you know, when I when I'm trying to point out reality, literally
Right.
just facts that I'm going to the state website and pulling, it is a lot of times received differently than I intended. But it's important that we know what the reality is that we're dealing with.
Mhm.
So, and I always do try to couple it with some solutions. And I'm not just pointing out these are deficiencies.
Right.
You know, it's, hey, look, this is where we are, but
Mhm.
we could make some tweaks and some changes and gain some traction without making huge changes. Even just a little bit goes a long way.
It's a
And
process. Yeah.
so yeah, it has been hard, and it is hard. It is hard because I don't want to be seen as someone that's negative or someone that's not against the town, because like I said, I'm still here.
Right.
And I want to make sure that all of our kids have access to
A better education.
an
and a
excellent
better life.
education,
Right.
you know? And so it's been hard though. I mean, it is every day. It's a battle for sure,
Right.
you know, and I have a good circle that can lift me up, and sometimes I'm lifting them up.
Right.
And you know, but
You
it'll
have
be
to
worth
have
it.
a good circle. I mean, especially in the towns like we live in, because I can imagine someone saying, "Oh, she's only been here living." You're not even from here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're a transplant.
Yeah.
You know.
But I always say, you know, like I chose here.
Yeah.
You know, like
Mhm.
I chose you guys
Right.
because this is where I want to live and where I want to raise my kids.
Right.
And, you know, that's why I'm fighting to make it better, because I want to live here. There's nowhere else that I want to move. I can't even imagine it.
Right.
So it's a battle every time, because we love our place. And
I just want to, well, and that's what communities should strive for, is to continue to grow and make things better.
mhm.
You know, and I think we get caught in, this is just the way it is. This is the way it's always been.
Yeah,
and
we do.
Yeah. So do you think that the parents are really feeling the heat? Do you think that the school board is really feeling the heat and pressure from the parents to make changes and make those changes fast?
I definitely think they're feeling some pressure, and they've made a lot of safety changes. They really have. They've made a
What
lot of
changes
safety
have they
changes
made so far?
So we have metal detectors. We have
Is that at all the schools or just at the high school?
It's at all the schools. So
Oh,
our
wow,
elementary
okay.
school, it's the visitors that go through metal detectors. They're the risk there. So they built this vestibule at the front of the high school that was very expensive, but it's to protect kind of in that middle ground when you've got visitors. It's bulletproof glass. They've changed out there's a lot of small things that you never think about. So for example, if you can let people in, you know, like students can let people in the back doors.
Yeah.
And so now those are alarmed, and they've changed out the classroom door locks, because that's a problem. You don't think, when we were in school, you too, since we're similar in age, when our classroom doors locked from the outside because you wanted to keep people out of the class.
Right.
When nobody was in there. And so the problem with that is whenever you have an active shooter situation, you have to open the door to
Right.
lock it. And so just changing little things like that you don't think about.
And that's stuff that you don't even think about as a parent, the locks on the door.
Never.
the classroom door.
And then
No.
we've added a lot of officers. So that's our big add too. That was the first kind of reaction after the shooting, is the school board went out and they added a lot of officers. So they've made a lot of changes,
Right.
for sure. So now is what I say, now is the hard part. It's making sure that we follow all of our rules and policies and procedures. That's the tough part.
Well, everyone's watching,
Yeah.
you know, right now. So, I mean, for me, I commend you for running right now, because this is just, I don't even know how of course, I know you have to speak to some of the parents and their children who were killed in this shooting. And I don't think I would be able to do that.
Yeah.
You know, having to really come face to face with the tragedy. You know, it's different from, yes, my kid was there, but I still have my kid with me.
Yeah.
And then someone who sent their kid to school that day and their kid didn't come home.
Yeah.
You know,
It's definitely, I mean, it's so hard. It's one of the hardest things emotionally that I've ever done. Like, I don't don't cry generally in my life. And I mean, people just break down all the time still, just thinking about it, because then you get to know these people and you know that their wife isn't coming home or their kids aren't coming home, and they're dealing with it so much better than you would think that you would deal with it. And so then you're thinking, like, I'm even worse of a person because I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't go out and try to make positive change.
Right.
And so it has been very heavy, but I would say overall, like I said, it's been, it really is an honor to be able to do this, to be able to have this right that we get to run and try to change things, even though it's hard. So, and I'll be a better person on the other side, no matter if I get elected or not. So, like I said, I take a lot of inspiration every single day somewhere where it's going to be, So
if you were elected tomorrow and the school board president said, you know what, Jessica, what is the first thing that you want to change? And that's what we're going to start working on immediately. What would that change be?
I would say the very first thing would be, let's look at some low-hanging fruit, like discipline in our classrooms. How are we treating, you have a 16-year-old, right? So, for example, when you have someone that's a disruption every single day, that can change the course for any kid in that class for the entire year. You just think about what that teacher has to go through. Like, I wouldn't want to go to work every day thinking, oh, I hope he or she has a good day.
Doesn't come to school. I hope they have the flu, or
I hope they have a good day
on
today. And so, just looking and talking to those teachers and saying, is there something else that we can do for that? Because I think, again, that kind of crosses over a few different areas. That you've got safety and you have education. If all of your kids can be engaged all day long, every day. I had a parent that was talking in the middle school. There was a discipline issue, where they took all of the kids out of the class and left the discipline issue inside the class because I'm sure there was a control issue there. And, that kid was in the class like 5 minutes later. Right. So, and nobody's learning. Right. So, getting that under control, making sure that we have best practices. If we can't figure it out, like, what are other districts doing whenever they have a classroom problem? So, there's a lot of small tweaks. And like I said, with curriculum, what can we do to make sure that our advanced classes are advanced and our non-advanced classes are being challenged also.
Right. I think that's very, very important. Okay. When we get back, Jessica, you're going to let our audience know how to find you on social media, what's coming up next for you, when to vote, how to vote, and all that good stuff. So we will be right back.
Hey folks, have you thought about having your own podcast but are worried it's too expensive or too hard to produce? Well, you're in luck. Pink Phoenix Media, the company that's brought you such shows as the Libra Lounge with Keisha, Going Deep with Leon and Keisha, and our brand new show, the Manticore Media Podcast, is here to offer you the chance to have your own podcast professionally recorded, produced, and broadcasted. We offer very affordable rates, flexible schedule, and everything you need to make your media dreams come true. Check us out and email us at sales@pinkphoenixmedia.net.
I don't know if it was a full. Hey, we're back to the Libra Lounge. During the break, Jessica was asking me a question because you guys all know my dog Sushi. She was asking me, because he barked, has he ever howled or there was one show that he and the cat they were trying to tear up the whole studio. I don't know if it was a full moon. They were horrible. So they have their moments where they want to be on camera and want to be a star. So they're just going to act up and do whatever they need to do.
They deserve to be up here.
And so we have something in common. We both have poodles. She's got 2 poodles. So you have to vote for her. She's a mom of poodles.
And another dog and a cat.
She loves dogs. She loves
it's
animals.
Out of control. It's out of control at our house.
Oh, I feel you. Okay, so tell the audience how to find you, how to follow you, your pages, and when to vote, how to vote, why to vote, all that good stuff. Here, you're in the spotlight.
All right, so my website is www.votejessicahagewood.com, and you can just search that on Facebook, and there's not a lot of us, so that'll pop up too. You can follow me there. And early voting, and this goes for everyone. Early voting starts Monday at 8:00.
Okay.
And it goes for a couple of weeks. So check to see where your local precinct is, where you can vote. Santa Fe voters can vote at the West County building. And then election day is November the 6th. So that's a Tuesday. And
really, 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 really soon.
Yeah, so vote for Jessica Hagewood for position 4.
Well, you've got my back.
All right.
I love everything that you said.
Thank you.
And I think you would be a fantastic attribute to Santa Fe ISD School Board.
Thank you for saying that.
You're welcome. Pay me my money. All right. So thank you so much for joining us today, Jessica. You guys know what time it is. It is time for Bitch Please.
Bitch, please. You be rolling down the street, telling stories, bitch, you never tell the truth. Bitch, please. Everybody know you lying, bitch, cause all you do is lie.
So almost during every segment break, Jessica and I talk about animals, and we talked about animals before the show, so we're both big animal lovers, which I think she's going to agree with this person who's getting the Bitch Please of the Week from the Libra Lounge. I don't know if you guys, but TMZ ran a story because I want to get his official, the game commissioner, now he's a former fish and game commissioner in Idaho, this was like a double one. So he went out and he killed a family of baboons, including a baby. Okay. So I don't know. He had to be on a hunting trip in Africa. Cause I was talking to my husband, I was like, do we just have baboons running around in Idaho? All of a sudden, but he was on a hunting trip, which that's just a whole nother case right there. But Blake Fisher decided, not only was he going to kill this family, but
I heard
you jinxed it.
It sounded like a baboon, actually.
The family of baboons, but he took a picture of it and posted it on social media with the wounds and everything, blood, and he lost his job because of it. Kill rats. You know what I mean? We have an overabundance of rats. You don't kill baboons. What do you do with the baboon once it's dead? What do you do with it? Do you eat baboon meat?
I mean, you can, but it's so close to being like a cannibal, I wouldn't do it.
So do you agree? Because the governor actually issued a statement saying that, every member of his administration is expected to exercise good judgment. And he was like, this is not the look for us. So do you guys think that he was right in losing his job?
I don't think so, only because if it wasn't something...
he was going to say that.
Well, I'm just
to disagree with
So
me.
follow this. If it's illegal to kill baboons and it's against some, government law or something like that, then he should be fired, because as a game warden, you should uphold the laws in the place that you actually go and hunt. But everybody got pissed off because the way he displayed it on social media. I mean, there's been lots of people who have gone on safaris and killed animals that they're absolutely allowed and legal to do, but we persecute the hell out of them because it's...
Because we see it. We see the picture of it. Yeah. I don't want to be flipping through Facebook and I see a family of 4 baboons who've been, killed on a hunting trip. I don't know. And I don't like you, Blake. I don't like you. I don't like what you did. I'm sorry. You sure your wife is going to divorce you because you lost your job now. It's just, I think I hope you're somewhere sitting down in a recliner with the beer, a bag of potato chips, and really thinking, was it worth it to kill that baboon family? And I bet you're like, I bet Keisha's going to give me the Bitch Please of the Week from the Libra Lounge. And you be right. So Again, thank you so much to Jessica, and I wish you the absolute best of luck.
Thank you
And
for saying that.
we will be watching. We're going to post all of Jessica's information when we upload this video, and we will see you next week when my guest will be Jenny Flynn, the owner of Femme Fatale. Do you work out?
I try to.
You have to check
So-
out Femme Fatale. It is a female-only gym, and it's
I've seen
awesome.
it.
Yeah. So
That's
she'll-
amazing.
Yes, she will be here next week. Until then, don't forget to tell me happy birthday on Sunday. Make me feel better because I'm going to be like kind of depressed and sad and all that stuff. So we will see you next week. Bye-bye.